Putting a fire pit on a wood deck can be stressful and dangerous, especially if you don't know the proper do's and don'ts. Fire pits are an excellent way to relax and unwind during a cool evening, but if you want to place it on a wood deck, then you need to keep a few things in mind. You may be asking yourself, is it even safe to put a fire pit on a wood deck? How do I prevent any damages? What are the best fire pit types to use? Wooden decks are more susceptible to burning because of their material, but if you use it in the right way, you can safely enjoy your fire pit on a wood deck. Stay tuned and we'll break down the do's and don'ts when putting a fire pit on a wood deck. Number 1. Location. Pick a location that is far from any flammable items, including your house, furniture, or overhangs. HomeAdvisor.com states your fire pit should be at least 10 feet away from your house and other items as a general rule of thumb. Make sure you don't place your fire pit directly next to any item that can easily catch fire. Even though it may seem like it is far enough away, always measure and make sure that the fire is at least 10 feet from anything flammable. Keep in mind that on windy days, the fire in your fireplace can travel farther and put your valuables and home at greater risk. Number 2, protective surface. Use a fire pit pad to protect your deck from gas, embers, and ash. These pads come in different materials like stone and metal to keep the wood in your deck protected all the way around your fire pit. In addition to using a pad, always use the stand the fire pit comes with. Even with a fire pit pad, you don't want to place the fire bowl directly on top of it. Never place the fire pit directly on a wood deck. The heat, flying sparks, and ash can seriously damage your deck and can also lead to a dangerous fire. Number 3, spark screens. Invest in a fire pit spark screen for additional protection against flying sparks. This will prevent embers from going into the air and burning nearby items. Also, it is a good idea to have a poker tool available so you can easily control the logs and flames in your outdoor fireplace. Avoid having an open flame on your fire pit. As mentioned earlier, embers and sparks tend to travel, especially in windy conditions, so ensure that your fire pit is covered with the proper accessories. Number 4, additional layers. Pour a couple inches of sand at the bottom of the fire pit before lighting it. This gives you more protection and creates an additional layer between the fire and your wood deck. Even if you have your fire pit on a stand and a pad surrounding the surface of your deck, don't light your fire without placing an additional layer. Also, having a layer like sand at the bottom of your fire pit will prolong the quality and effectiveness of your fire pit pad. Number 5, weather conditions. Using a fire pit on a wood deck is ideal during calm weather conditions. A small breeze is fine and won't catch fire to nearby valuables. Never use your fire pit in windy conditions, especially on a wood deck. This puts your deck, house, and other valuables at risk because the fire can easily travel when it's windy outside. Now that we know the proper safety tips when using a fire pit on a wood deck, it's time to decide the best types of fire pits to use. Generally, fire pits that are made out of metal or cast iron and are supported by sturdy legs to keep them off the ground are great options. If you have a wood-burning fire pit like this already, then you're good to go. Still worried about sparks flying? Gas fire pits are another great option to use and are easy to light. A fire pit on a wood deck can be extremely dangerous, but if you take the proper precautions, follow these safety tips, and use the right type of fire pit, you will enjoy a worry-free evening by the fire on your deck. Remember, choose a safe location, use a protective surface, invest in a spark screen, add an additional layer to the bottom, and make sure the weather conditions are ideal. And always keep a close eye and monitor the flame. For more tips and information on fire pits, check out our other fire pit related posts and make sure to read our fire pit buying guide if you're looking to find the best fire pit for your space. My name is Josh, and thank you very much for watching. Do you have an idea for a future subject? Comment below and we'll do our best to get around to it.